No,
What do you need to do?
I need to get the whole
You just sit over there.
because you took it away from me. That computer had the whole podcast. For some reason, my stuff is like MIA. Monster schedule. No, that's not it. I really
I'm
can't.
gonna make sure I do that into the mic.
I'm just gonna try to pull it up from the email.
That sound of you drinking was just lovely, Greg.
Oh yeah, I think we're live, by the way.
Yes.
Hey everybody.
Hey,
No one say anything stupid.
don't do it.
Hey Margie.
Hi, Margie.
Hi, Margie.
She was quick this time.
Yeah, she was. Well, she wasn't here last week, so she's got to make up for it.
Who's going to be next? My guess is Patriotic Penguin.
I'm gonna apologize up front for any throat clearing,
The whole time.
gurgling.
There it is. Google Docs. I don't have it. What?
Oh, you're struggling, Mike.
Yeah, when you like clean up your phone, things get deleted, and I guess that may be why my Google Calendar was not showing anything all of Black Friday and Thanksgiving. Like, everything I scheduled was gone, so thankfully I had a little bit of a memory.
I
What's going on?
finally broke down and got a new phone, so I've been in 2 days of what's that password? What's this password? What's this password?
Oh gosh, did you get an iPhone?
I got a new iPhone. Yeah, it was my old phone. I got $1,100, and the new one was $1,100, so it was like a no-brainer.
Right, to upgrade. That's what I did too. I upgraded as well. Well, hello everybody. Nate is out of town on us today. Is he on his last day of hunting? Right? Yeah. I'm excited to get that going.
I might have to take a shirt off. It's warm back here.
Yeah. So,
Yes, please.
do you want me to read the second part? We're ad-libbing as we go today.
What do you mean read the second part?
Whichever one. You just have a lot to read otherwise.
I always do the whole intro.
Okay. If you struggle over there, you just let me know. I'll go get you some water. He's gonna get me sick
I
too.
got tea.
Be sick.
You need that jalapeno death water. That'll clear you right up.
That is so gross. But jalapenos are great. Had those last night. Need
Hard
some
pass.
soup.
All right, got that ready.
Some soup. That'll make you feel better.
There you go. Nice chicken noodle
Just not dumplings.
in a bread bowl.
Or bread bowl. Panera bread.
All right. You guys ready? I did not come up with my quippy intro, so.
Oh, I got you covered this week, Greg.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, snap. It's going to be a hot take.
Oh, yeah. Hot take.
All right, here. we go. Welcome to Life, Liberty, and Equip Podcast. I'm Greg Davis, founder of NeoMag, and a firm believer that life is worth living boldly, liberty should be used for good, and we all have a calling to be equipped to pursue it. Every week we explore what it means to live with intention and carry the tools and mindset that prepare us for whatever comes. We'll dive into the topics around the freedoms we cherish, the gear we trust, and the skills that equip us. It's more than a podcast, it's a mission. Life, Liberty, and Equipped to pursue it. We're coming to you live on the NeoMag YouTube and Facebook accounts, and we'll be pulling your live comments right into the conversation. If you're listening to the recorded podcast, we go live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube and Facebook page. We'd love to have you join us in real time. And don't forget to join the NeoMag Insiders Club. It's free to join right now. And if you missed it, last month we had 30% off the entire month. But don't worry, Insiders, we are going to have some more stuff for you coming up. So go over and to the neomag.com, hit the pop-up, sign up for the Insiders account. And while you're here, please subscribe to the channel, follow us on social, and leave a review for the podcast. It really helps more people discover what we're doing and keeps the community growing. Also with me today is my friend Tib and Michael.
What's up,
And
guys?
most importantly, we have our fearless leader, Graig Davis.
She's
In a world where the smallest tool can tip the balance between readiness and regret, one man has redefined what it means to be prepared. Forged from grit, precision, and a relentless pursuit of innovation, his creations have transformed the conceal carry world forever. He is a craftsman. He is a problem solver. He is a follower of Jesus, a shooter of shotgun, and a visionary in a field where details aren't just details, they are survival. The man, the myth, the legend, Graig Davis.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thanks, Tib.
He's a man of the shotgun.
I do love the shotgun.
Shooter of the shotgun. I was
do
going to add
love the
in
shotgun.
drinker of the bourbon, but I forgot.
Drinker of the bourbon. Smoker of
I
the
do
cigar.
love me a shotgun.
You need a hottie toddy. That's what you
go
need.
for-
Yeah. See,
I
now
may
you're
have had a couple last night. Yeah, my voice actually is going to sound even better because it's even
It's
lower.
the perfect podcast
It's the-
voice right now.
Yeah, I
It's
need
the
to.
I'm sick voice.
I do sometimes, like when I have a cold like this, I'm like, man, I wish my voice was this low all the time. And this is actually, it's actually a little higher than what it was even this morning. I was like Barry White in it this morning.
Oh, wow.
I was
Narrating
thinking, for a
live.
second, I was like, is that Greg or Vin Diesel over there? I wasn't.
Oh, he's too fast, too furious.
All right, let's get into
Life isn't just the big moments, it's the everyday joys worth protecting. Family, friends, and community. Let's talk about what makes life rich.
Yes, we got some catching up to do. It's we've had a holiday in between here. Michael's been out the past couple weeks. Nate is not here today. I'm sitting in his seat. I've got a computer. I've got my phone. I've got an iPad. I've got the board. Michael's sitting over there. He was complaining about his iPhone, about having too much to do on his iPhone.
Yeah, there's a lot to
I was
do.
gonna give him
on
a swift
small
kick to the throat, but
So full transparency, I thought I was going to be doing the StreamYard with the computer.
and then you admitted that you didn't know what you're gonna do with
I
it.
have no idea. I've not used it. I've just set it
you'll
up for the
figure it out.
schedule. Yeah, I figured I'd figure it out on the fly. Press some buttons with all the upgrades. Hopefully, we have no lags, freezes.
Yeah,
or
hopefully.
anything.
So last week, knocking on wood, we didn't really. I don't think we really had issues. The camera flickered out real quick, and then it came back, and then last week was good.
That's good. That's good.
So everybody wants to know, Mike, how's the back doing? How you doing?
Better. It's been a pain in the back. I was going to say in the neck, but that too is part of your spine. So, I went and saw a sports ortho doctor. Ha 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 ha. And I had a second set of x-rays, and he doesn't think I need to have surgery, which is a great response. And then he kind of made a valid point, which for any of those of you that have had injuries or go to see a chiropractor, he said this. He's like, I've never seen a chiropractor have a good x-ray. And it took me a second, and then it made sense, right? Because their job is to sell you on a service, whether it is for the positive response and healing, or it's a business, right? And sometimes I kind of want to say that I'm hopeful that people want to do good, but I also, as a business person, know that people want to do business too, and it is a business. So,
Well, that's also coming from somebody who also wants to sell you a service and stuff. So
my sports
I always take those comments with a grain of salt.
the sports ortho was great because all he said was, PT, you're already doing that. Continue doing that until you're ready to get back on your feet, and just build your back, prevent from recovery, and that was it, right? So no more follow-up visits, nothing. So I've got some physical therapy still to do. One thing that I found was microneedling has actually really helped tremendously in the upper regions of my back and my neck. So this is the first time in like 2 weeks that I'm not so inflamed that I can sit down for more than a couple minutes without being in pain. So I'm going to try the lower back, but it is a long kind of road to recovery. My really good friend, John, just had back surgery. He had an incident. He's an active duty law enforcement officer, and he didn't hurt anybody, but he made sure they were arrested in handcuffs. But in the process of the struggle, he got hurt too. Ended up having back surgery. So he's on the mends right now. But that is kind of the one thing I want to try to avoid. I've had so many different responses on surgeries, operations, and what you can and can't do. So rolling into 2026, we have a lot on the calendar. We have so much planned, and then just myself, just traveling, events, courses, and as we talked this morning, just going to take more classes and just more training.
Yeah.
So trying to avoid the back surgery, going to do the physical therapy and all the, they say holistic care, but some people go, I'm going to be a yogi now, right? I get up and do yogi in the morning. Is that what it is? Is that
yoga?
I know, but apparently it's called, you get called a yogi.
Oh,
or
you get-
something.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Are you going to get those tight yoga pants and little crop top maybe?
Going to get? What do you mean? He walks around here all the time and is.
Listen, I'm just
There's
letting
yoga
you guys know, like today I don't have undergarments on, but if they're tight and they keep me warm in this cold Ohio weather, I'm absolutely for it. You just might not see it. It might be those early mornings you have to attend hot yoga to see me in my compressions.
Nice. Good. Yeah, it's definitely you're definitely moving a lot better, and you seem
Yeah.
just being better spirits. And
Yes.
I was saying, I don't know if I said it on the podcast last week, but like being in the office next to you, I had to have my music up pretty loud because I would just hear you like moaning and groaning over there all day. It was like making me sick to my stomach just because I can relate to the pain. So just hearing that all the time. So it's been good that you're back up and at it. You're sitting in at it.
I mean, honestly, thanks to you guys too, because it happened here. And I barely made it to your office, but I said, hey, Greg, I need your help. Like, I need help. And Greg, working on the computer thing, I just needed something until you turned around and saw me. And then I was like, oh, this guy's like a ghost now. So you guys helped. We got a office stand for my desk. So I'm standing. So it's still a road to recovery.
No more moving heavy things without us helping you.
That's the crazy thing is like what I did was so limited in weight or movement. So it's just one of those things that we have to recover. So I'm going to take the necessary steps. But I'm really sad. I'll get to that point. I mean, I guess we're kind of in the live segment. So I'm traveling. So Christmas is coming. The drive home was excruciating, right? Because that was still a couple of days after the second time really hurting myself. That was terrible. I got to see family. Love that. Got to have amazing food. So if anybody knows how to make broccoli salad, like here at the office, tips, if you want to come this way, or Libby wants to make it, I love it. It's my favorite. My mom makes it every year. So got to see family. I didn't get to hunt, but everybody around me in the family was hunting. So that was, great. I'm going to go back and do that soon. But in lieu of the conversation with my back, I am going to Colorado with my girlfriend at the end of the year and going to see her family spend the New Year's, and they want to go snowboarding in the mountains.
Nope.
I have like, here's like the kicker in the soul, right? I have been
a little bit too much too soon.
I have been wanting to touch powder in Colorado for years. It's been many years.
You should
since I
go
snowboarded.
and just touch it.
That's honestly what's going to happen. I told them that they should put me in a bubble, right? Put me in one of those bubbles you can roll me down the hill that I don't get hurt.
Even that.
But so I'm probably going to be sitting the slopes out, but at least have an opportunity to go be with everybody. So we'll see. If my physical therapist says otherwise, just know Vegas. You might see me in a walker in Vegas.
I need you.
I'll be there.
You're going to be
company
in a
needs
wheelchair
you.
for a shot show.
Yeah, shot show is going to be would be interesting with the walker. I need to get the wheelchair so I can run over you guys. So that's my life segment. That's kind of what's been going on lately. I'm healing. Still haven't worked out in like a month. I went to the gym and stretched. That was really great. Really great. Some of the exercises were stretches, and I look like a first time gym goer. Like I've got all the first form clothing, attire, and shaker bottle, and then I'm going in there like on my knees, like doing leg raises like this, and people are looking at me like, oh man, that's your first time, So it's fun. It's
a t-shirt that says like "Leave me alone, I'm healing."
that would be, that's a shirt that we should have.
Yeah.
That's absolutely a great Neomag shirt, and people can interpret it however they need to.
How about you, Tim? What's going on?
Thanksgiving was wonderful. The turkey was moist. The sides were delicious. Desserts were delicious. Literally, as the last guest was leaving the house, my son started taking down the Thanksgiving decorations. Literally, as Aunt Nancy was walking out the door, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He looked at me and said, Dad, it's Christmas now. I was like, all right, bro, it's Christmas. So that night we took down the decorations, put them away. We brought upstairs the Christmas decorations, and then all weekend was Christmas, Christmas, Christmas all weekend. We did the tree. We did our Advent wreath. We did all the decorations, decorated the tree. We built a 5-foot Christmas cross out of 4x4 and put that in front. I mean, it was, nice. We're saying Merry Christmas to everybody we see. It is 100% Christmas here.
All in. I love it.
Yeah.
Hang on, wait.
Yes.
You and Greg both have your Christmas setups now, right? Because you got your fireplace set up too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got our house sticker. I got my office decorated. Yeah, I was.
So Tip, was you and your son? Was the wife included?
Oh, of course, yeah. So
Okay.
my son and I did the cross, and we brought up the decorations, but and we do the tree together as a family of four. A lot like if you went through my house, every room is Christmas. Like it is Christmas in every room. And my wife went above and beyond this year, and it's awesome.
It's Christmas. I feel like you should have made a manger.
Well,
Manger.
we do have a manger in the front window,
Okay.
and then on Friday,
It's a miniature manger, right?
yeah, I can show you. And then on Friday, the Knights of Columbus, we are setting up two huge mangers, one at each church. They are probably 10 foot wide by 15 feet tall or so. It's enormous. And not funny story is we have to wrap them with like clear fencing now because a few years ago someone stole baby Jesus.
Are you serious?
Oh wow.
Someone stole baby Jesus. I don't know if it was like just a drunk college kid around here or what. I don't know. But like 2 days after Christmas, baby Jesus was stolen. So now we have to like wrap the manger and protect it. But
I'll see if they stole him off the cross, like that'd make more sense. He's gone, like right.
Yeah.
He left the cross. At least that'd make more.
No, they stole baby Jesus.
From the tomb. That'd make more sense. But yeah,
like
stealing baby Jesus.
So is this a tradition for you, Tib, and your family? Like every year, y'all, like, is it right after Thanksgiving, like the day of or Thanksgiving ending, everybody leaving?
Yeah. So the second my wife got home from work on Black Friday, she barely got out of the car, and my son's like, "All right, get in the other car. We're going to get our tree." And
Nice.
we took the dog and went to Home Depot and got our tree.
So what about you, Greg? Is this a same time, like right after Thanksgiving?
I'll get to mine. I was gonna let Tib finish his
Yeah.
last segment here.
The only other thing I have is I won't be on the podcast next week. I don't want everyone to be too upset and too sad. I'm sorry. Beginning of the week, I'll be traveling to Vortex Optics. You going to do a sad?
Yeah, he's got to find it.
Sad audio.
There it is.
I was gonna do this one, but
Some people might be excited, but in the beginning of the week, I'm going to Frozen, Wisconsin for an event at Vortex Optics, which is awesome. And then the second half of the week, I'll be in Ohio for our Christmas party, which is also awesome.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, and my wife's coming this time, so
Yay!
double awesome.
Double awesome.
Well, don't worry, I won't hit anybody with the go-karts because
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
I won't be driving this year.
Oh, that's true. You aren't going to be
Oh,
driving.
you can't. That's right.
Yeah, I'll hold the checkered flag for you guys.
Yeah, you can hold everybody's coat. You can cheer us on.
A coat tenant. Put me in a box. I can't come out and have to stay there the whole time.
Yeah. So yeah, are we done, Tib? Is that,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned last week, I was super excited. Both my brothers are coming to town. We have not been together in years. This is our first time together since my youngest brother and his wife had their son. So first time all the grandkids on my side have been together. Just huge anticipation, excited for this. And they all got in late Tuesday. We went to a movie, went and saw Wicked Tuesday. So we didn't see him till so Wednesday. We get there and hung out just a little bit. Thursday, Thanksgiving, right? Thursday, we're eating Thanksgiving meal, delicious. My smoked turkey was great. Very little of it left, and all the sides, amazing, just so good. So then we do the usual. We all kind of crawl our way over to the couch and grab a pillow, and we're all kind of just laying all over the place. And it starts with my brother. My brother kind of is like, man, I feel like I ate way too much. And we're all kind of like, yeah, you did. We all did. And hours go by, and he's like, I still, by this time we're all grabbing, dessert and seconds or whatever. And he's like, I still feels like I have a rock in my stomach. So fast forward to by that night, I think 4 people were throwing up.
Oh.
And several more were like, yeah, I don't feel so great either. My kids spent the night over there Wednesday night. So we were kind of, so we were, we're all standing around in a circle, it's kind of like, is it food poisoning? Because like, what could have been? Like, I know my turkey was done, and that was kind of the most obvious culprit, whatever. So we're talking food stuff, and yet, me and my family, but we're all feeling fine. My dad and stepmom at that time were feeling fine. And by the next day, so I kind of do a wellness text the next morning, and a few more people had been throwing up that night. So basically, both my brothers and their whole family, all the kids, everybody, was throwing up at some point. My stepmom Amy, she got sick, which she left. She was leaving Saturday for Europe for like this cruise tour thing with some of her girlfriends. And thankfully, it was kind of a fast and furious bug. They got it, hit hard, puked it out. And within like 10 hours, they're feeling pretty good again. She's actually glad that she kind of got out of the way. But the thing that kind of stunk was, we didn't get to see him at all Friday, because we were just trying to stay away. We didn't know, what they had. And so stayed away from him Friday. By Saturday, everybody was feeling pretty good. So we went down to Barberton, one of the next towns over. They had their Christmas light walk and stuff like that. So we did that with them, and that was nice. But just unfortunately, the thing that I was looking forward to the most, spending time with my brothers, is the thing that happened the least. We did go. I mean, we spent the whole day. It's like YouTube. As soon as everybody woke up Friday morning, Thanksgiving decorations, all the fall decorations are coming down, making way for Christmas. It was really cool. So we've been going to the same Christmas tree place for a long time, and they do like a hay ride out to the field, and you cut down your tree and you bring it back, and it's just kind of, and they have like hot cocoa, and we always buy everybody buys an ornament or they're there, and just kind of it's kind of thing that we do every year. And the problem is though, is like most of the time it's either kind of warm and it's muddy, and it's just not really festive, or it's super cold, like bitter cold, but there's no snow, and you're just mad because it's bitter cold and it's not sunny. So, but this year,
got snow.
God gave us. It was like as soon as we started walking out to the field, this like snow globe snow started falling.
It was beautiful.
By the time we got to the tree, it was white out. Like you could not see 3-4 rows over of trees. I posted a video on my story of just snow. I was covered in snow bouncing off me. And so we cut down the tree, and it's snowing like this. And you're just kind of taking it in, right? And then we start walking back, and it kind of started dying down. And by the time we got back to the kind of, I almost call it clubhouse, to the shop or whatever, it had kind of stopped, and it was blue. It was like blue skies again. So it's like God gave us this snow cloud for the tree cutting, and it was just super cool. And like I'll probably remember that for a long time to come. So as much as stunk that we didn't get to see family on Friday, we did just spend the whole day together as a family and decorated and got the tree and started a fire and watched a movie and the whole thing. So that was great. And then Sunday I led worship at church, and then we left right from church out to deer camp. My first year going to deer camp. So I kind of took up deer hunting this year, really for the first time. I've always been a waterfowl hunter. And I'm like, I'm going to deer hunt. And so a good buddy of mine, Brian, his family has 250 acres down in Zanesville, which is about 2 hours south of here. It is like the dream property. They have this cabin. It's like this off-grid cabin right in the smack dab in the middle of 250 acres, surrounded by hundreds of thousands of acres of other farmland that they also have permission to hunt. So we basically have like just a ton of land to hunt. So I bow hunted. Sunday evening, gun season started Monday morning. I was in a tree on Monday. Didn't really see much. I saw 4 doe run away. Brian's dad shot a small buck. That was the only thing that was killed then. And I took a shot at a doe Monday evening. And this thing was broadside 35, 40 yards. Now it was kind of over a fence line. There's a couple little stragglers of brush. And I'm shooting 170 grain 350 Legend through this. I'm not even worried about it. Broadside, pull a trigger. And I watched it just kind of turn and prance away. I'm like, it didn't really act like it got hit. And so I waited a little bit, hopped the fence, go over and look at it. Me and Brian looked for 30 minutes trying to find blood.
Yeah.
Couldn't find anything. So I have no idea. I did find there was a little bit, and I'm curious what you guys' thoughts on it. So one of the tiny little twigs. We're talking 3/16 of diameter, just like a tiny little twig, was missing a piece of bark, and it was like wet, like it had freshly been debarked. It's like no bullet. Like you would think if a bullet hit it, that it would split it or something. Like there was no visible marking of anything hitting it, but the bark was just gone. So I don't know if just the pressure of the bullet whizzing by it would have done it, or if it actually made contact. I have no idea. But that's the only thing. It just I have a hard time imagining that tiny little twig would throw off a bullet that much to miss the deer.
I'm just so glad that this was a doe that you shot.
Oh yeah, not some monster buck.
Monster
I would
buck.
not have slept.
So I've had those pucker factor moments when you're in the deer stand. You shoot at a monster buck, and mind you, I used a bolt action, but I shot it like a semi-automatic. So if I missed the first one, I'd follow up.
Yeah.
And I continue to follow up until I could no longer see the deer. Well, there's been some times in my hunting experience where I'm zoomed all the way in on the scope, right? And I'm, shaking in the tree, the whole tree's shaking. Might as well have pine trees, pine needles and everything falling. And I've cracked a shot off. And, as soon as you crack the shot off, you're looking, trying to see where the deer is, where it's going to fall. And I see this 10, 15 yards in front of me where I'd zoomed in so far I didn't see the tree limb, and I'm just hitting tree limbs. But I actually didn't think about this earlier, and I want to ask you this now. Did you have your can on?
Yeah.
Have you zeroed with your can on?
Yes.
Have you zeroed with a can cold?
Yes.
And have you confirmed that again later on?
I did. And I actually reconfirmed afterwards. So I was telling Brian, I was like, I want to go check zero again. So I popped another couple shots off at 50 yards, which is what I zeroed at before. I was maybe 2 inches high, 2 inches left at 50 yards. Yeah. But that still would have been a dead deer.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, that was the only thing I was thinking too.
The can, if you had the can off and on when you zeroed versus you didn't with a cold bore.
Yeah.
But honestly, as much as I hate to say it, those little limbs, those little twigs that we don't see in the scope, it really can. It
must have. That's that's the only thing.
It's just up to where it wants to go, right?
Yeah. That's the only thing I could think of is that tiny little twig.
But now you got it out of the way. Right. So the next one that you see is going to be the one that you drop, and it's going to be a buck. So your first is going to be a nice buck.
So my goal is to sit in the tree. So I got home. So I hunted all day Monday, hunted Tuesday morning in the snow, it was pretty cool. Literally very cold, but also cool. And then I got home, said hi to the family, got dressed again, and went back out.
It's addicting.
Didn't see anything. So we have 1 week of gun season. And I'm planning on sitting every evening this week.
That's all we have for hunting?
We have one bonus weekend, the end of December.
Okay.
Wow. But we have the Sunday to Sunday after Thanksgiving. That's it. And then we have one more bonus weekend. So
do you guys have like a muzzle loader season at all?
There might be. Yeah, I think it might be a muzzle loader. Yeah. Bow season is like October to February or something like that. But yeah, if you're gonna gun hunt, you got to get that this week.
Well, I brought the wrong gun back home anyway.
You did. So
I got the bow, but I don't know if I can pull that out. So
yeah, so
I might be borrowing a gun, but hopefully I will get to hunt here. I've got a couple friends that are trying to allow me permission to use their property. So that's a big plan. Put some deer meat in the freezer.
Yeah, that's my goal. I was really just wanting a doe to get meat. My spot local to me, I have I have one monster buck. We're calling it the moose. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to get, but I want to. And then there's another real nice, smaller 10-point that I would also love to have in my wall. So I'd like to kind of sit and try to get that the rest of the year. I just want a doe to get some meat in the freezer. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. As soon as this podcast is over, I'm rolling out. I'm gonna go try to sit and get another one. So
all right, you need to bring me with you, and we'll put a sentry strap on that rifle, and then we'll video the hunt.
I'm not gonna let you throw off my hunt.
I didn't miss the first shot.
I can't risk it. Can't risk it. All right, let's get into Liberty.
Liberty isn't about what we can get away with. It's about how we use our freedom to serve. Let's explore what that looks like today.
All right, so Tib actually brought up the story this morning. We were texting back and forth. I'm like, hey, you got any ideas? And Tib, I don't know if you want to kind of intro this, or you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Or
I
if you
can,
want me to.
I can give a little bit of it. So I saw this. Guns and Gadgets did a video on this. This gentleman, John Booth, a 50-year-old IT consultant from the UK. He came over here for his 50th birthday and was in Florida, in Freedom Country, and he shot some ARs and a shotgun here in the United States. Then he went back home to the UK and posted the photo of him shooting a shotgun. And if you haven't, go ahead and Google that photo of him shooting the shotgun. And he even says that, like,
Yeah.
I'm holding the gun wrong. I'm afraid. I don't know what I'm doing. It's my first time shooting. Give me a break. It was funny in the video. But anyway, he posted that photo on LinkedIn in August 2025, and he actually got visited from the police because they said that photo was threatening to people around him, and people could take that photo the wrong way. And you want to continue from there, Greg?
Yeah. So I do recommend watching the video.
Yeah.
Like the interview. There's like a Fox interview with him. At first, when I just judging off the picture, I was kind of rolling my eyes, like I was kind of being a gun snob. Like he's like, clearly he's never held a gun before, shot a gun before.
It's the first time.
But then I watched the video, and actually I love this guy. I wanted to try to pull some of the audio from it to play for you guys, but I just ran out of time. So yeah, he actually got arrested.
Mm.
So they visited a home, and they at first cautioned him about the posting. And then 11 days after the post, they returned and arrested him that night. And they detained him overnight, and they charged him with possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence. And they also, I do kind of wonder a little bit more about this. This part of it says a separate stalking allegation connected to another social media photo of a house was also included. So it sounds like whoever turned him in had, like there was somebody else involved in this. Yeah. There's some background stuff here. This person kind of red flagged this guy basically. And so he was arrested and detained. And then says over the next 3 months, he endured repeated police visits and legal pressure. He calls it the 13 weeks of hell. He was rearrested in October for alleged bail breach, followed by a public order offense linked to another social media post. And ultimately, all charges, firearms possession, stalking, public order offense, were all dropped by I love this name, Crown Prosecution Service. It sounds like that's something that would come to your door for lack of realistic prospect conviction.
Yeah, as he put it, very Orwellian.
Yeah, he said exactly what he said. He's like, this is just so Orwellian. It's like, he came over here and did everything legal over here, and then just posted about it when he's back home, and gets arrested, gets harassed. He's talking about how he can't his reputation is gone. He can't get work. And yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're all on the side of thinking this is crazy, but what's your thoughts on this? And if you're in the comments, we'd love to hear from you too.
It does sound crazy because to us it is, but the first thing I thought of was the UK only had their guns taken away in like the late 90s. It wasn't like it was 50 years ago. So it goes to show how quickly things can change. It's happened in many countries, not just the UK, but just late 90s, they had their guns taken away. And it's just another step for the government to do more and more and more and what they want. And, there's something to the First and the Second Amendment and how important it is for us to continue to protect them.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of wanted to try to hear like the other side. Obviously he has one side of the story. And I'm just trying to understand this from the other side. And so I kind of did some digging on this, and just to try to gain some perspective, because for us, especially like for the three of us, and probably those of you that are watching or listening, seeing posts of firearms online, like it's just another day, right? It's the most.
It's our job.
It's the most menial thing ever. Seeing, I scroll past them so fast anymore because I see them all the time.
But you don't like that new AR-15?
I could care less. And on my personal account, to be honest, on my personal Instagram account, I've unfollowed. It's not like a personal thing or attack or anything. I've unfollowed anything that has to do with guns because I see it. I live it the rest of my life.
Yeah.
When I go to my personal Instagram account, all I want to see is like hunting stuff and mountain biking stuff, like all the other things I love to do.
Right.
So to that point, one of the things that I read is they're like, you have to understand that over there, seeing a picture of somebody with a gun is so abnormal. It is unheard of, unseen. So to see somebody with a gun on social media is shocking. So just trying to wrap your mind around like the culture behind that, right? Like when you live in a culture where seeing a firearm, like somebody that you know holding a firearm and shooting a firearm would make your jaw drop. Like, wow. Just imagine that's the culture that you're in.
But it's such an odd culture, first off, in my opinion, and that's all it is. But how can you be at culture shock of a firearm or a picture, but you can allow some of these other unjust or pure evil or just, for example, like we have in the U.S., drugs in the street. Like you allow certain type of drugs out there, and how can you turn and look away at one thing and then look at another one and say, I'm shocked?
Well, I think I mean, I'm going to make an assumption here. I think if they saw somebody they knew was posted and having drugs online, I think they would also do the same thing.
Yeah, I think if I did a little bit more due diligence to like give you some rapport on UK and like something that may kind of be aligned with this, right?
There are things I'm sure over there. I'm sure that there are things that are out of our culture that are normal over there.
Right. Of course. And maybe this is kind of a cultural thing, but you see it across the board, as Tip said. It hasn't been a long time that guns haven't been in the UK, and the shock is almost like a narrative, like a government approach of, I want to censor and ban this and shun this until it becomes, like you say, a shock when you see it. But honestly, if you just Google this story, I mean, it's terrible for what happened to the gentleman. But if you look at his pictures, like my grandma holds a shotgun better than he held the shotgun, right? Like I wouldn't look at that and be like, oh my gosh, I'm in fear for my life. Granted, I live in the United States. But one thing, and maybe we'll lead into this, is I want to bring this to our attention, is that's a social media platform, right? And it's probably not made in the UK, right? So to be able to utilize a worldly platform and post pictures or anything like that, and then somebody is either stalking you or watching you, or to have community guidelines, what we have here in the US, and somebody attack you, and then the police become involved into the situation, and then it becomes harassment and watching you. That is major overreach, and it's almost like a collaboration between both government and social media platforms to have that surveillance. Like we are watched in everything we do, right? But where do we go to an extreme to say that what we see in the UK isn't already happening here?
So Nate actually just jumped in the comments. Hey Nate. So he just chopped in. So we're talking about this guy John Booth. He's a 50-year-old IT consultant in the UK. He came over to the States here in Florida, visiting some friends, shot some guns, took some pictures, went home, posted a picture on LinkedIn, and long story short, he gets arrested several times. He's harassed. He has tarnished his reputation, can't get a job. It's basically ruined his life over there. And the crazy thing is, I've seen some other videos and stories of police coming to people's houses over social media posts
in other countries too. Australia,
in UK, that happens all the time. Yeah,
it happens all the time in UK, and it's been over thing. Like if you say something the wrong way, if it's taken the wrong way. So this is, I mean, we could even kind of shift this over into and talk about red flag laws and stuff like that, which is basically kind of what this is. It's not kind of, this is exactly what this is. Like if you see something and you portray it as threatening or that you are fearful based on just what you see from the little bit that you see. Like if somebody clearly somebody just saw this picture and felt fearful. They didn't know that it happened in Florida, that it happened, that like there's no context behind it. All it takes is somebody seeing that and going, I'm afraid, I don't like that, calling the police. They come to your door, no due process, no questioning.
Guilty.
Just guilty.
Straight to jail.
Straight to
jail.
So it's now, and this is where I actually would love for this guy to come here. So he starts talking more just about the First and Second Amendment over here. He was like, he was basically like, you guys don't realize how important it is that you have the First and Second Amendment. The fact that you can that you can say that you have free speech and that you can't have firearms. And he was talking about how important that is to be able to stand up to a tyrannical government and all stuff like that. He was nailing all the talking points that we would have. And in fact, he kind of wrapped it up a little bit by saying that he's looking to come here. Like he sees nothing. He sees no way to move forward there. Nor does he want to after this. He was like this.
The other beautiful thing he said at the end was, this is how it's been difficult and how this struggle has pushed him back into his faith. And he's just relying on God to get him through this. So we've talked a lot about in the past about how our difficulties and struggles can strengthen our faith. And that's exactly what he said. He goes, this has been so difficult, but I'm really leaning on God to get me through it. And once I get through it, I want to move to the United States.
Yeah. And that really stuck out to me too. Just and he was honest. He was like, I have some questions, for God, and I'm waiting for answers. But he was like, but I know God's going to get me through this, and so that was cool. I was like, I would love for this guy to be my neighbor. Come on over, buddy.
He's perfect Floridian right there.
Yeah. He's going to end up in Florida learning how to shoot the gun or become a Florida man. One thing I do want to kind of bring to that focus though is as we look at the other side, maybe we should also look at it from a standpoint of where we are in the United States versus the UK. Like full transparency, we say we have freedom of speech, and we are protected greatly by our constitutional rights. And the freedom of speech is still one of those that the UK doesn't have the same ability as we see. But what we do see is censorship. We do see it across the board, right? And social media and companies, these are private owned organizations, and they have the right to choose what they delegate as censorship or wrong or right. And the one thing that we see more now is social media companies and corporations, they don't run the government, but they control and regulate the freedom of speech. And then it's disguised in our own laws that protect the company and say, well, we can regulate that, right? Well, then you are censoring our freedom of speech, right? For companies. And we experience this. We can't go on YouTube or we can't go on Instagram Live for a year for a collaboration post with a product, right? Because somebody along the way thought that was harming. But we see other things on social media, XXX rated material and other things that are just openly out there. So where we're not as far along the way as what the UK is, I do want us to realize that it's here, right? We're constantly targeted, watched, surveilled to the point of, ATF agents are knocking on doors. Hey, you got these guns, and we've all seen the videos, right? At what right do you have to come knock on my door and ask me to see my firearms or what I have, or let me see your serial number, right? So my concern is that overreach that you see in the UK may be culturally normalized, but I don't want that to be normalized here. Right. And there's a heavy push against just in general people with a conservative view, and not to be political, but a conservative view, faith and Christianity, or firearms enthusiasts or gun owners. It's been a target on our back since the time that I've been able to think consciously and make a decision, right? And now it's one of those things that as we get older, I've seen the shift in time where 7 years ago, like it was a different world on social media, right? You didn't see such of one provocative side of social media. You saw guns and you could grow and expand. And now it's just like the complete opposite, where we are becoming more centered on these platforms. But one thing that we fail to tie it together sometimes is that these corporations fund the government, and the government funds these corporations to push the narrative of what the agenda is or what they want to drive, right? And that's just the one thing I wanted to bring up the most was we may not be where the UK is, but we have seen through examples of a post, a thread, a Twitter tweet, how it doesn't alter reality, but it affects reality to a whole. We've seen short stocks from a tweet from Reddit to GameStop, that big thing that we took billions from the hedge fund brokers, right, to tweets that cause chaos and riot, to tweets from the president that people use as it's an act of terrorism, right? So I don't think that we're that close, but I do think that we're riding and teetering on that fine line that we do need to be careful, but we also need to stand up for our rights. And that's just the hard thing is how do we as a whole, as Americans, like John does here, come together and say, all right, we need to, as a general, come together and say, nope, we're drawing the line here. Like, these are our rights. This is our freedom. You should honor that, because that's what makes our country stand out from the rest.
Well, so I think it's a good thing to bring up, because if to apply some liberty, this is in our liberty segment. I think there's a lot of directions that I was considering going with this. Like, obviously we can talk about our involvement in government and voting and getting involved. We can talk about social media and the effects that good and bad that social media have on culture, and how we're involved with that, and possible repercussions on how we're involved with that, and also just culture. Like, like I was saying, over there, the culture is not, it does not see guns ever. So to see one became alarming and threw up red flags with us. It also sounded like there may have been like a bone to pick with somebody here, but the fact that this person could create this much of an issue just goes that there is a bigger issue. So I think there's a lot of things from this that we can take and apply our liberties to. How can we get involved so that things like this don't happen? Honestly, the easiest thing is for us to continue having a culture where safe firearm handling is happening, training and instruction is happening. We are taking people out to learn how to shoot and finding out that this is fun and this can be safe. I can protect my family. I don't have to outsource my protection. I can do this. It just, I think there's a lot to it that I think it would take. I'm not saying it's impossible by any means for the U.S. to get to that point. I never say that, but I do think it's a long way from happening, just because there are so many of us. There's so many Americans who live this culture out loud, and it's kind of up to us to keep this culture going, where even if people don't agree with us, they're seeing it, and they are hopefully at least learning that there are people that are doing this safely and doing this with the right intentions. Tim, how about you? What do you think?
Well, the only thing I would add to that is if you're able to support the Firearms Policy Coalition and Gun Owners of America as well, because they're the two organizations that I feel that are fighting for our rights on many different levels and many different fronts. So if you can afford to support them, please do. There's also some good local groups. Not every state has good local groups, but if your state has good local groups, support them. And then the other thing I want to say that Nate just commented a few times about having fun. Training can be fun. Going to the range is fun. So like Greg said, yeah, get new shooters, get people who are hesitant to shoot to the range, and make it fun for them. Throw a watermelon out there, or a spray paint can, or have a silly competition, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just go and have fun.
And don't laugh at the people that are holding their gun incorrectly.
Come on now.
We listen.
That's hard.
We
Help
listen
them.
and we don't judge.
Yes.
You get on the inside as you're.
I admitted I cringed a little bit, but we all started somewhere. It's funny, every now and then on my Facebook memories, these pictures come back of back when I first was shooting a handgun, and it's awful to watch. I've come a long way, but it's taken a lot of time and and training to get to that point. So don't laugh at people that are holding a gun wrong. Take them to the range and teach them how to hold it correctly.
Yeah, the education goes a really far way, and I think the if we were to bring back firearms education at an early age, just like we do, you have to learn how to put on your pants. You have to learn how to take off your socks. Like these are things that we have to do every day. Granted, some people may never pick up a gun every day or often, right? But if you just get the education up front early, just like in school, you retain this stuff enough that you can be safe or not become, a politician that knows nothing about it and just makes blind rules without actually having the education to back it, right? It's a skill set. And some people have a passion in it, but it's a knowledge, right? You can go get an education and a degree. You can probably get a degree in firearms too nowadays, right? So if people were to take it more seriously, just like, hey, I want to learn a new hobby or a new skill, there's a lot to it, and there's always levels to advance to, right? So education goes a long way. If you start them out early, I think there'd be a different culture.
Yeah. And if you're in the UK and you are pro firearm, First, Second Amendment, we would love to have you. There are plenty of people here that would love to go over there, and we are more than happy.
Trade.
We're happy to trade. If there are people that love freedom, First, Second Amendments,
but you have to be able to cook too.
All the amendments. Then please come on over, and maybe you can you can work out something with some of the Americans over here who do not like freedom and liberty, and we could
trade.
We could trade.
And they have to know how to cook.
They don't have to. I'll take freedom loving over
good traditional.
I mean, there's not a lot of UK cooking that I'm like, yeah.
I don't know what's right in the UK, but if it's coming from
tea and crumpets,
there you go. Tea and crumpets.
It's kind of bland. They don't like cheese.
I'm out.
Well,
yeah, I should put cheese on everything.
Yeah, no.
On BLTs.
Oh, that's gross.
All right, let's get into equipped.
The right tools, the right skills at the right time. This is where we get equipped to live boldly and be ready for what comes next.
So today's equipped comes from my personal experience over the last few days. I don't know if I'm not sure if Nate's doing the same thing over there, but I have been very comfortable in the cold, late November weather and early December wedding because of my electric heated clothing. Do you guys have any?
Yes.
I bought you
when I have my vest.
I bought him a vest. He had just come from Florida, and it was like 70 degrees, and he's complaining about being cold.
The office is cold, guys. Don't let him fool you.
Ted, how about you? Do you have anything?
Yes, I have electric socks, which is the best thing ever. I have electric hand warmers. I have electric vest, and then I have a hand warming. What do they call them? Like
a muff
thing you put your hands in.
Yeah.
And I have one that attaches to the belt, and I have one that's Velcro that attaches to my plate carrier. And when you put the electric hand warmers inside the hand muff, it creates this amazing hot pocket of just delightfulness for your hands.
Yeah.
I am all about that.
Yep. So I have the same. I have electric socks. I love my electric socks. They actually died after about an hour in the tree last night, and my feet were freezing. I'm like, I don't realize how much those keep my feet happy. So the electric socks are great. I will say, spring for the electric socks that have the remote.
Okay.
There are ones with the remote, because when you have multiple layers on, like I have bibs and stuff over top of them, trying to dig into them when I'm hanging in a tree is not easy. I would love to have a remote for it. Do that if you get a pair. I have a vest. I love that. And I have hand warmers. I also have the muff. I can't find my muff, but I do. I was doing the same thing. I felt the element in the muff and the one I have wasn't quite as warm. I actually kind of stopped charging it and using it. I just used the hand warmers in the muff. Because to me it's nice to hold on to something that's warm anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just game changer. So I got mine probably 2 years ago. Is that when I got you guys? I think it's 2 winters ago. I also got Nate the heated muff because we still try to go to the range in the winter, and I was trying to help us all get all stay warm when we go to the range. And
mostly help me.
It's the nice thing about it for me is you don't have to put so many layers on. Like I can just wear like a hoodie, put the vest over, and then and then it has to be pretty gold to need to do this. But then I'll put just another shell over top of that, just to kind of cut the wind down and help hold all that heat in even more. And I can be out in like single digit weather with basically a hoodie, heated vest, and a shell. It's a game changer.
Well, I'm probably going to have like 6 layers on. So I did get this new triple out design cover. You got me after Thanksgiving. So
yeah, I got you guys a little. I got Nate Tibb and Michael a little gift.
I'll be wearing these.
Yeah, I was going to surprise you, but Michael just gave it away.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
Mike, you ruined my surprise, bro.
Yeah, I did know.
Nate knew. Nate knows about it, so I was just going to surprise.
We also have something else coming up for a surprise. December 12th. We have a date, all 4 of us.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
I'm
Getting
so excited.
his tattoos. I got to figure out where I'm going to do that.
On your neck.
Yeah. So basically, I just kind of want to talk about how you should get electric gear if you're in a cold environment, or if you're a wimp in a warm environment, and you just need something heated. Do it. It is worth the money. I've seen. I just from some experience though too is if the vest I have is kind of puffy. The vest I got from my wife is more like just like it's a fleece that's heated. I kind of wish that mine was just like a fleece. It was lower profile. Like the puffiness. Mine's probably warmer. Mine might be insulated better, but I would rather have the thinner layer and then put like a light coat over top of it or something. That's just some of my.
I wish I had the coat instead of the vest, because my vest is puffy as well, and it's kind of weird looking when I put the shell over the vest. So I wish I sprung for the jacket instead of the vest, if I could do it again.
Gotcha.
But the socks are wonderful, and I've had like 3 different pair of hand warmers, and they're fantastic. These are nice because they split into 2.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, the hand warmers I have, I wish I had brands, but I don't. I just got them.
My hand warmers are Okupa. They're pretty popular brand. And then my socks and vest are Action Pack. I think Action.
Yeah, the hand warmers I have, you can choose single-sided or double-sided heat.
Oh, that's nice.
It has a light on it. Honestly, I can never figure out how to purposely turn it on. Every now and then I'll turn it on, and then I can't figure out how to turn it off. But the hand warmers are great. Like Nate said, don't keep it on the highest setting. It'll drain the battery too fast.
And it's still warm with it off too. Like it still keep you warm with it off, so you can turn it on and off as you. And like I found out real quick in layers, I had to crank the heat down, like Nate said. But if you're not using electronic gear, I've been running Pakka, Pakka. It's after alpaca wool, and I love it. I wear it all winter time under my undergarments. And it's the Pakka wool, so you can get wet. It doesn't.
Yeah, I only wear wool in my base layers and stuff. That's all I wear.
I'm gonna have to get the electronic socks and try that out, because I've got the alpaca socks, but I've washed them and dried them one too many times, so they're starting to get really tight. But the socks that's probably the most important that I'm finding here in Ohio, just because even if it's not cold, we're constantly stepping in snow, slush, ice, mixed salt, and it's just nasty. Your shoes get wet, your feet get wet, you're done.
Yeah. So yeah, go check it out. It's I've seen a couple brands even kind of advertising towards the camo stuff that look pretty nice. And yeah, that's my equipped. Oh, I did want to mention something. Hopefully we can get Mike, you think we can get these up by the end of the week?
Yeah.
We have a couple new hats. I've been wearing the one, I think I wore it last week on the podcast too. We have 2 new hats hitting the website. One is
closer, Mike. Can't quite.
Yeah, I got you.
One's the tactical cap. It's camo, so there's no button on the top of it. I can't remember if I talked about this last week on the podcast.
Mm-mm.
That's what it was. I'm having deja vu. So there's a tactical cap. There's no button on the top. So if you're using Ear Pro, it's great for that. There's no button. The mesh on it's a mesh back with a Velcro closure.
That's a good looking hat.
So there's even more adjustment to the size. It's not like the snapback where you're kind of set to those increments. But the other hat is a snapback trucker style with the button on top. It's more of the they're both legacy brands, my favorite brand. Very, very comfortable. They both have a similar logo. We kind of did a like a frayed edge patch. Is kind of what the design is. Frayed edge patch, and then it has our Lightning Neomag logo embroidered in the middle of it. So these should be hitting the website at the end of the week. We will send an email, and you guys can hop on that. All right, here we go. Let's go to faith.
Faith anchors us, fuel drives us. Let's open God's word and find the wisdom we need to live it out every day.
So I'm going to kind of do something a little different this week. Each week in the month of November, some of you may be familiar with Advent season. Tib, I know you are. I saw your post about it. You do the Advent candle and everything. Have you grown up doing Advent?
When I was really little, my grandmother did, and then when my mom passed away, it's something we got away from. We never did anymore, right. And then we started doing it again when my daughter was little.
Yeah, so it's basically each Sunday leading up to Christmas, you have a different word, kind of a different theme that you focus on leading up to Christmas. This kind of helps get your heart and mind focused in on Christmas. It's so easy, and especially in this world today, to just get wrapped up in all the things that you got to do, all the places you got to be, the gift buying. There's all these other things which are great, which are fine, but that's not the reason for the season. And so doing Advent and taking time each week, I actually do a Advent study on the Bible app. I do a daily one, and it really helps get your mind focused on what this is really all about. Like what was going on. I think it's really important for us to understand the context of what was happening up to Christ's birth, like what was happening and why it was so important that he came when he did, because God doesn't do anything on accident. He has a purpose for everything. And so, what was happening leading up to it, why it's important that he was born, when he was, how he was, and all that stuff like that. And so I thought, we plan on doing a podcast through December. We will have our last one. I don't know that our last one's going to be live. We'll probably, because I don't think I'm going to be here, so we might have to pre-record our last episode, and then we will probably actually, just heads up, I think we're going to be taking off the month of January, and we should be back doing the podcast season 2 in February next year. But that said, I thought this week I would just read to you this devotional for the first week of Advent. Here we go. The first Sunday of Advent is a Sunday of hope. In fact, the whole season of Advent is about hope. The hope of Israel that God will make good on his promises. We look back to, for example, the prophecies and promises of the book of Isaiah that say that a child is going to be born who will then become the Prince of Peace and bring peace to a needy world. In this season, we are reminded of a popular Advent hymn, Come Thou Long Expected Jesus. It goes like this: Come Thou Long Expected Jesus, born to set thy people free. From our fears and sins release us. Let us find our rest in thee. Israel's strength and consolation, hope of all the earth thou art, dear desire of every nation, joy of every longing heart. As we sing that hymn in the Advent season, we're reminded of Mary's Magnificat, something called Mary's Song of Praise. Here we have Mary, the mother of Jesus, who's just found out that she's with child in a miraculous way. She goes to visit her cousin Elizabeth, and as she's greeted her cousin, she burst into song. And Mary said, My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior. For he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed, for the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercies extend to those who fear him from generation to generation. He has performed mighty deeds with his arm. He has scattered those who are proud in their inmost thoughts. He has brought down rulers from their thrones. He has lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, but has sent the rich away empty. He has helped his servant Israel, remembering to be merciful to Abraham and his descendants forever, just as he promised our ancestors. That's Luke 1:46 through 55. This song is not just about Mary. In those few verses, she reflects on the great things God has done for this nobody in a world full of powerful men. At the same time, 6 of the 9 hymn verses are about what God will do through this child for the whole world. God will turn upside down the injustices she and many people around her have experienced. One of the key words that Mary uses in the song of praise is mercy. God is merciful, compassionate, and caring. You see, in Mary's world, the God of the nations were not known to be compassionate and merciful, but Mary remembers the tender-hearted nature of her God. When we sing Mary's song with her today, we're not just looking back on what God has already done in the past. That's part of it. That's part of the hope we sing about at this time of year. It's also about singing the song with hope about what God is doing still in this world. As Mary does, we can sing very personally about what God has done in our life. But the rest of the song is about these great overturning of injustices that God has yet to do. And we can have hope for that as well. Mary clearly believed that this child would indeed be Israel's strength and consolation. As we light candles, gather together, go to church, and pray in the Advent season, we mustn't be just looking back, but we're also looking forward to the same hope that filled Mary and gave her a song of praise. That's the devotion I have for you guys today. If you want to, I recommend going reading Luke 1, the story of Mary, the story of just hope coming. And so I hope and pray that you guys take some time this week to focus in on the hope that we have and this anticipation. You know, I don't know if you guys have I'm sure you guys have had things that you have hoped and had that you have hoped and had anticipation for, really getting to go home to see your family, waiting for, I don't know, it could be a package that you have coming. Maybe it's your first child, just a child that's coming. You know, there are things that we have hope in that we can't wait for, and that's kind of that getting that anticipation in our hearts and mind in this time of year as Christmas comes. So that way, when Christmas Day comes, that we have this realization of the hope that we have in a King that came in a world that he didn't have to, but he came to save us. And so, just kind of want to close with that today. Like I said, each week we'll focus on the next page, the next word of Advent as we prepare for Christmas. So, appreciate all you guys coming today, listening, commenting, and we will be seeing you guys next week. Let's close this out. Thanks for tuning in to Life, Liberty, and Equipped. If today's conversation challenged you, encouraged you, or helped you get more equipped to pursue your mission, share it with a friend, drop a comment, and leave us a review.
And don't forget, we go live on Neomag, YouTube, and the Facebook page. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be a part of the next live show.
And if you're not already a part of the Neomag Insiders Club, now is the time. Get early access to Neomag gear, exclusive content, and front row seat to everything we're building. Go to theneomag.com to sign up.
Until next time, live boldly, stand for liberty, and stay equipped. We'll see you soon. All right. For those of you that are live, thank you so much for coming, joining us today. We appreciate you. Appreciate your comments. And we will see you guys next week.
See you later.
Bye.